All right, traders, the watch list video here for Thursday, November 11th. I honestly, now you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, I honestly don't think I made one call today. I went most of the day without trading at all. I'm trying to see if I still have that. Let me see something here. Yeah, I got a screenshot of this. This was my best trade of the day and one of very few trades that I took today. And this was just a simple twos, buy zone, hold number flush. And this was after hours. It wasn't called in chat or anything. But I point that out to say that's how goofy today was. I think the whole market was maybe on hold, waiting for Rivian to go public and or to open. And that took hours and hours and hours. Somewhere along the line, Evergrande, am I saying that right? Someone said they defaulted and the market got ugly. And then I saw another tweet where they made a payment. I don't know. But it was just a terribly boring day. You know it is when I have to talk about an after hours trade that I made. But that was pretty cool because I made like, I don't know, 9 or 10 bucks on some of those shares. All right, anyway. So the SPY kind of gapped down and sold off today. I'll show you 5-minute candles. You can kind of see kind of almost that downside shape late in the day before a late day bounce. So the market needs to come in. I wouldn't mind some carnage out there so things can get back to where trading will be good again. But right now, it's just kind of rolling over a little bit and anything can happen. That's the 3 words I live by in trading. Anything can happen. So really don't have any highlights from today. So I'm going to just talk about what I'm watching tomorrow. EVGO gap down today. Actually had a strong move, but then closed below the middle of its range. Actually, in after hours, it's trading around 16 bucks right now. So I don't know. It's holding up well enough, and they've had some really nice headlines the last few days. It's a EV charging stock. So I do want to keep an eye on that one. AGC held up really well in an ugly tape. You had the big day yesterday. Today, a gap down, sold off, but then closed above its open. Maybe a third day play there. NEGG I had as a third day play today, but then it gapped down. The market was kind of ugly. But when you go to 5-minute candles, check this out. Late in the day, some big volume came in. So if you look at it, 1398 to 1570 was the range, and that happened in 5 minutes, right? And actually a little bit higher on the next candle. So because you see it can move like that. It had a huge move a few days ago. Lower high the next day, lower high today. It's a pretty interesting setup for a potential long. All right, so that's NEGG. Only with a proper A+ intraday setup. Swim, which I've never traded before, I guess they had earnings and a nice volume spike and a pretty strong day in a weak tape, so I want to watch that one. RDBX I had on Bounce Watch today, and now it's in the middle of that buy zone between the 8 and the 20. No trades in it today. It goes right back on Bounce Watch for tomorrow. MARA, this is one of the Bitcoin-related stocks that has taken quite the beating in 2 sessions. Yesterday's high was 83.45, so it dropped about 20 bucks in 2 sessions, getting down to the 8-day, kind of retesting the recent highs here from a few days ago. I do think it's an interesting setup for a potential bounce play tomorrow, maybe overdone to the downside, in other words. PRTY, just straight down for 3 days. It's fallen from 920 all the way to like 6 bucks. So it's fallen what is that? 3 bucks. It's about 30%, fallen 30% in 3 days. And it had a nice bounce off the 6 area back here in mid-August. So that is a decent setup for a potential bounce play. Remember, I only take the bounce plays if we get one of the setups that we teach, or any trade for that matter. So that one goes on Bounce Watch. SAVA had a pretty big run here. Give you some numbers here. This was 42.18 on November 1st and ran all the way to 100 in 3 sessions. And now it's kind of pulled back for a few sessions below the 8-day, kind of retesting the breakout of this high and this high. Oops. So I do, and on lower volume. So I do think this is a decent setup for a bounce play tomorrow as well. PETZ is as simple as a recent high flyer that put in a red day on lower volume, goes right back on watch. I don't know if this one should be on watch. SOPA. I'm going to have it on a chart, but do not fall in love with anything this thing does. It halted, again today. It had serial halting on its opening day. It halted a couple times, I think, today. but this thing can really move. Here's the thing, it can really move either way. But anyway you slice it, it's had a range in its opening 2 days from like 15 to, I don't know, 77 in 2 days, and now it's sitting at 45. So this thing can really move. If we, obviously, it's dangerous, and it's, you know, it's a little whippy, so be careful. But if it gives me an A+ setup, I will give it a shot. You do have what I would say is a lot, you know, a lot of bag holders from today with that big topping tail. So something to keep in mind. Makes me like it a lot less. And then I got a few gap plays I want to watch. AFRM, if they hadn't had earnings after the bell, this might be one of my favorites anyway, because it's been one of the strongest stocks in the world, and then 3 ugly days down. And you can't see it on this chart, but it basically closed the 50-day. So this would be a great bounce play setup because it's been so strong, and now you got a nice pullback. But that's not why it's on watch. It's on watch because in after hours they had earnings, and it's trading. And I showed you my after hours trade. Right now it's trading at 170.46. So you've got an impressive gap up, and maybe some shorts that were shorting into earnings in big trouble. So it's trading all the way up here. Certainly one to watch. 2 more gappers. RIDE, R-I-D-E, which is Lordstown Motors. And it's trading at 660 right now in after hours. They had some sort of news with Foxconn. News that sounded pretty good. But I can't show you the after hours on this, but well, I can. I'll show you real quick. So the initial pop, this is what it did on that news. Had an initial pop, then gave a lot of it back, and then it's been grinding higher. And after hours has about another 40 minutes left. But anyway, certainly one to watch tomorrow. You could check out, you got plenty of time before the opening bell tomorrow, right? To check out the news, see what you think. But you could have some shorts in trouble on this one. So that one's another potential gapper. And then Open, O-P-E-N, is my third potential gapper. It's trading at 22.75 in after hours. So trading, you know, up here. And I believe they had earnings after hours. I'm going to leave it at that. We will add other gappers in the pre-market as well. Man, the last couple of days have been really boring. I'm hoping we get some really nice setups tomorrow. Again, I'm making most of my money. I've been saying this every morning. Sitting out the opening 20 minutes or so, letting the dominant stocks separate themselves, and then looking at those buy zone pullbacks. So that's where I'm making most of my money. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm done battling. I'll see you guys in the chat room in the morning.